What's up, everyone? Fabrizio Rausa, the top scorer, back again with another episode of Fabology. I think I'm going to add it to Fabology. But today we're going to talk about cold approaching and everything surrounding it, my full opinion and how I see it, basically. Because I got asked about it in the Discord, and I'm frankly not the biggest cold approaching guy. I believe for the most guys that cold approaching is a waste of fucking time. And especially, I'd say for me, it is a big waste of time. But before we actually get into all that, join the Discord if you haven't already, if you want to get personalized advice to your dating situation and talk to like-minded people about business, dating, relationships, and want, more importantly, access to me too, and ask me whatever you want to ask me, because again, videos can only do so much. You'll have questions that I'm unconscious about, so join the Discord, go ask me there, because I don't see most DMs. So yeah, Discord it is. Now, cold approaching. There's a difference between you seeing a pretty girl at, for example, at a bank when you're waiting in line, or you're at a bar and you sit next to each other and you make eye contact and you start a normal conversation, compared to just being at a mall for 3 fucking hours, cold approaching, hey, you're so beautiful, just walking up to every fucking pretty girl you see. That is the problem I have. I have no problem with when you're out and about, you see a pretty girl, you go talk to her. But I have a problem with doing something for the girl. I think I've touched on that on the first episode or second episode about Instagram when you're taking a picture. You shouldn't do things for the picture. Same thing, you shouldn't do things for a girl. With anything really. I don't shave, for example, to please women. I shave because I feel more confident, I feel better when I have a clean face. Simple as that. I don't do it for women. And that is basically part of my whole life philosophy. I don't do anything for women. I talked to one of the guys yesterday. He taught me to make a video about the different club game and shit. And I told him, when I go to the club, most of the time I'm too fucking hammered to see more than this wide in front of me. So I can't even tell you what girl looks beautiful. Because I don't go there to get girls. And that is the mistake many guys do. Because girls can sense that. Girls can sense when you're not having fun. When you're just going to a place for girls. They can sense that you're desperate. Yeah, you can hang out with your boys at home, not drinking, or drinking at home, sure. But you can also drink at the club. And if it so happens, you see some girls, you talk to them. One of the big things that I got taught, or my perspective got changed, is in sales, you shouldn't cold approach, but you should create coincidences. Meaning, when you're sitting at home, you can't create the coincidence. But when you're out and about, having fun with your boys, going on a meeting, going to get a haircut, there's so much opportunity for coincidence where you then can meet a girl. And that's where you can cold approach. That's where I don't have a problem with it. I simply have a problem with it. Oh yeah, I'm going to put 3 hours away of my time this week, and I'm just going to go to a mall and talk to every pretty girl I see. One, you don't have anything better to do than going to a mall for 3 hours to talk to women. First of all, that just means that talking to them is worth more of your time than you doing anything productive. And yes, it's different when you go out with your boys to have fun. Making memories and having a good time and strengthening relationships. Something completely different than going to a mall for 3 hours to talk to women. And if you can't see the difference here, then click off. This is not the channel for you. And two, they can sense that you're desperate. Especially if you've approached 100 women, 99 of them said no. Because cold approaching has one of the biggest churn rates there is. We're going to go more into that later. And then one says yes, or you're desperate to finally get a yes. They can sense that. They can sense that you're not on a mission. And as I said in my videos countless of times, maybe not on YouTube, but on Reels, ambition is one of the biggest aphrodisiacs there is. And you walking around, wasting time at the mall is not ambitious. But you being on your way to somewhere, you waiting in line at the bank to get your money, and then you have an opportunity, a coincidence created to talk to a girl, that's fine. But then you also don't talk to her for 3 fucking hours. No, you talk her 5-10 minutes, not even 10 minutes. You talk to her 3 to 5 minutes max. Get her number, get her Instagram, whatever. Then boom, you're gone. I'm totally for that kind of cold approaching. I'm against day gaming or even night gaming. Like, you have better to do with your time. And some dating gurus recommend, oh yeah, you should do that. Like, fuck no. Again, there's a very high churn rate, and I don't think you learn anything by getting shot down 99 times. All you're doing really is build up more fear inside of you, especially if you're like an incel and you have no experience with talking to women. That's the worst thing you can do to learn. When you're talking online dating is way easier. Talk to them, and if you mess up or whatever, you won't never see them again. But sure, you maybe don't see them again when you cold approach them. But two, they were just an avatar in your phone. You'll forget about them like that. I messaged some girl, I told you last video. She remembered for 8 months that I messaged her, but I forgot completely about her. Why? Because she wasn't a real person. But you getting shot down, she may be even laughing in your face. It's gonna like almost create PTSD. Now, I'm not saying avoid facing your fears, sure. But you shouldn't make it harder on purpose. Like, get your practice first texting. Then once you see a pretty girl, once you create the coincidence, once you're available for the opportunity to talk to a pretty girl, then you have the game backed up. You shouldn't go practicing with that. With the highest fucking risk. With the highest fucking churn rate. Why not use that time? It's even less time probably, because on Instagram there's only hot girls, you can find only hot girls, whereas on the street you maybe see 1-2 pretty girls. Even that, the most attractive women aren't just walking around at your mall in fuck knows where you live. They're in fucking Marbella, Miami, New York, Dubai, maybe not Dubai, but they're at those hot spots. Like, sure, there's the good looking girl here and there, but you thinking that you're gonna meet her at some mall is kind of fucking ridiculous almost. Like, take advantage of the fucking internet. Oh, but it's hard, I'm not photogenic. Well, then click off. This ain't the channel for you. Fuck off. Taking pictures is also a skill to be learned. Definitely go with online dating. Don't waste your time day gaming. Thing is, you can do that while watching a podcast. You can do that while, I don't know, hanging out in your room listening to music. You don't have to go to the city, then walk around the mall. You're maybe even nervous. That's for sure not going to work out then. Like, if you're afraid of cold approaching, you going to cold approach isn't really doing what you're doing. Oh no, I will get better with more fear, with more failure. No. The only lesson you learn from failure truly is to avoid fucking failure. I believe in volume, yes. I do believe dating is a numbers game, but cold approaching like that is definitely the wrong way to approach it. If you want to actually do IRL, talking to women more, do something like becoming a club bouncer, or work at a bar, or some guy in my Discord recommended, go learn fucking salsa dancing. Do something, some activity where there are women involved. Not when they're trying to shop and you talk to them. When they go to fucking salsa classes, they know, okay, I'm going to be speaking to people because I have to dance with people. They're open-minded to having conversation. They're in the right space of mind. But when they're at the mall with headphones in, they don't really want to talk to some dude. Like, no, they're there to go shopping. And if they are going to the mall to only get approached, I don't know if you want to date that kind of woman. Okay? Now also, why I personally am not a big favor of cold approach is one, again, going to the mall example, that's the whole thing. When I mean cold approach, or why I'm not a fan of it, it's the mall type. One, I'm 5'8". It's not my advantage. Like, if you're tall, 6'4", it's way easier to fucking cold approach. Because you walk around, they see you like that, you get attention like that. I have other things that are to my advantages. For example, I have clout, I have followers on Instagram. I would be stupid not using my advantage, being good at speaking and building a following on social media, by going into a field where I don't have any advantages in. Doesn't make any sense. So if you're trying to find a channel, oh yeah, how to talk to women, how to best approach them, how to day game, this isn't the channel for you. I don't do that shit. I use status for my help because status is one of the easiest things to get women once you have it. And you can't really display that when you're walking around in some mall trying to approach women. That's the least status thing you can do. If you're good looking and tall, sure, go day game all you want. You'll probably be very successful. But I'm not tall. I am handsome. But I'm not tall. So I don't go around approaching women. And also it's incongruent because you see me, I have clout, I want all this money, I want Lambos, all of that stuff, I preach working hard. And then you would see me at a fucking mall. It just totally goes against my whole philosophy basically of putting a price tag on your attention. 3 hours at a fucking mall just to approach women isn't putting a price tag on your attention. It's handing it out freely to whoever wants it, to whoever says yes. I don't care if you're successful at it. Oh yeah, I spoke to 100 women, 5 gave me the number, I got laid once. I don't give a fuck because my hit rate with my advantages is way higher. Now, for the odd instance where I do cold approach, which rarely happens at this point, again, as I told you, it's more often than not that girls approach me. For example, if they know me or, I don't know, they find me attractive. One time in December, I was just at the club sitting down in the smoking area because I felt like shit. All of a sudden, some girl sits on my lap. Like, that just happens. That just happens when you're strong, sexy, handsome. When you're the top scorer, when you ooze that top scorer energy. That just happens. I don't walk around at the mall. I'm sure I would suck at day gaming at the mall. Sure. But that's not my measuring stick. But when I do approach a girl, I usually want it to be as natural as possible. Meaning, for example, the one instance at the bank. I was waiting in line. Some girls were behind me. And some dude, some old dude that couldn't speak any German, he was Italian as a matter of fact, I feel very ashamed, just went in front of everyone. One of the two girls behind me had then the audacity to talk to him because I didn't really give a fuck, but they had to go on a train. So she started fighting with him and then just started talking to her friend. She always like that. When we had a little 2-3 minute conversation, natural. Or another time at the bar. They were having a fucking meltdown about some relationship. They were going crash out and my friend just started laughing at them and then they noticed him laughing and then we got involved in the conversation. Natural. Creating coincidences. Not, oh my god, I see a pretty girl, let me find something to say. At that point, once you're in your head, you already lost most of the time. Maybe all the day game coaches that film their approaches with their Ray-Ban Meta glasses tell me otherwise. I don't give a fuck. If you want a day game, go watch someone that does day game. We're here to life max, to ascend in all areas, and then how to make dating work. Because frankly, what woman wants to date a guy that goes to the mall once a week for 3 fucking hours or even longer to talk to women? No woman! It's not a fucking attractive trait. Oh yeah, babe, I'm gonna be gone for 3 hours because I'm gonna go approach women. Like, that just sounds weird. Sounds like a fucking dude that has nothing better to do with your time. And again, ambition is one of the biggest aphrodisiacs. Maybe I'm talking in fucking circles. I don't know. Maybe I am. Probably am. But that is just contrary to all of my beliefs and contrary to what actually works in dating. In the past 5 years, there's really 2 ways to get a woman. One, you put a fucking price on your attention and she wants your attention because it's valuable. Or 2, you give her so much fucking attention in the hopes that she dates you to equal to the amount of attention she needs. It just doesn't make any sense in my mind to choose the second option. Because if I know, okay, I can treat my girl so well, I can give her a rose every single day of the week or for a whole year, but some guy comes along that has a price tag on his attention and he can talk to her 5 minutes and boom, she's gone. Why would I want to do the second option? I don't. And if you do want to do that, if you want to simp for a girl, go ahead, be my guest. Less competition for me. I really don't give a fuck if any of you do anything with this information. I'm providing this information for the guys that want to do something with their life, that are open to receiving it and open to applying it. If you don't want to, I don't give a fuck. But yeah, that's my whole thoughts about cold approaching. I'm not a big fan of going to the mall. I think I've said that clearly now. I believe in creating coincidences because that aligns with my whole life setup and my philosophy and with efficiency too. If I can choose to talk to a bitch for an hour, or I have to talk to her for 15 hours to get her, I'm gonna choose the first option because my time is valuable. Because the 14 hours I didn't use to talk to that girl, I can use to make money, to go to the gym, to ascend my life. And you know what the result of that is? Even more fucking women! Day gaming is not fucking scalable. Putting a price tag on your attention is. And it's only exponential. So it doesn't make sense in my mind to go to the fucking mall. It's just a stupid fucking decision. Okay? So yeah. Leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe. And next time we're going to talk about first dates. Unless something comes in between and something urgent that I want to talk about. But if everything goes according to plan, first date tips next video.